Welcome to Real Talk, Garrett and Laura. Today we're going to be going over that the market may be changing.
Yes, we will talk about what we have seen the last couple of weeks. We have some hypotheses about what we have seen and why it may be happening.
hmm And our theories are buyer fatigue and the changing inventory. So we will get into it right now.
Yes, so with buyer fatigue, um, people who really needed to make a change space-wise because of the pandemic probably have already made that change.
hmm hmm So now the people who are left are the buyers that have normal life changes going on. Moving for a new job or change in family of some sort, regardless of global pandemic and need for work from home space.
Yes. So the uniqueness of last year is that we were all experiencing this at the exact same time. We all experienced a dramatic life change together, and
hmm
we all became housebound, and that
hmm
affected the market all at once.
Yep. And so the real estate market is still strong. So we don't expect prices to go down at all. The good news on the buy, and that's the good news on the seller side. The good news on the buyer side is that you're more likely going to see less offers and maybe a little bit of chance to negotiate. So it's good news for buyers who have anxiety, but also sellers who have anxiety too, because it's going to be get to a more normal pace of market.
Good for everyone with anxiety. And the reality is, we all have anxiety.
Yes. Yeah.
So prices are still high, but buyers aren't going to have to compete with as many offers. Sellers don't have to feel overwhelmed by so many offers or the early offer fire drills that happen and make you feel
hmm
frantic. And there's all this frenetic energy. Even, sometimes those fire drills and those early offers aren't welcome because then you feel like you're not getting all of the offers on the table. So it's just better for everyone, I think, right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So Laura, what are your thoughts on the inventory question? Because the numbers of homes for sale still seems low, but feels different from the past year or so.
Yeah, it feels like there's a little more inventory right now, but that's because the buyer activity has changed. There's not actually data to show that the inventory is still low. It's just that the tone has shifted.
hmm
So there's still less houses on the market now than there were at this time last year. But for some reason, that frantic energy has gone down, which is nice.
Right. Right. And it's because that we are in such a housing shortage, that we don't expect prices to go down. So everyone's, we talked before about, hey, is this a bubble or whatnot? No, because the loan's different from 12 years ago and everything. But at the same time, there's just so few homes in the market, that we don't think the prices are going to drop off a cliff at all. So there may be a little bit less competition, and buyers may save a few bucks or have a chance to negotiate, but there's not going to be this sweeping loss of equity from everyone who has just bought a home and then prices are going to go down or values are going to go down. We just won't see that.
Mhm.
So it'll be like we were saying, even on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, there's not going to be this sweeping loss of equity over time
hmm
that's been built up in the past 10 years. Um, it's not a crash, it's just a small lull. And
That's
I'd
right.
say
That's
it's
right.
probably welcomed by most.
Oh, definitely welcome by most, and I have a theory on why this is happening now, and then two also why we're not going to see big price changes, or anything go way down. And
Mhm.
what we saw, and this is national data, but what happened from 1990 to 2000 is that there were 20 million homes built in the U.S. And then from 2000 to 2010, there were 22 million homes built. So just lots of homes built, during those times.
Okay,
And
so tell me what happened in 2010
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah, yes, yeah,
2020.
yeah, yeah, yes. So then 2010 to 2020, there were only 5 million homes built nationwide. And so we have these all these new home starts that just weren't there like there were in 10 years before and 20 years before. And a lot of that is because all the builders were the ones that got burned, in the last crash, and they
Mhm.
just have spent all their time on remodels, buying stuff out of foreclosure,
Yeah.
flipping current housing stock and not producing new houses. So that's why we're still in a housing shortage. That's why we don't think that prices are going to go down.
Mhm.
Right, Laura?
Well, that makes sense. Those home builders got slammed in 2008. They just got
hmm
slammed after having such a great season right before that. So it makes
Yeah.
sense to me that they were like, "Oh, I need to rework this model and use existing homes." It makes sense to
Right.
me. It's logical, but of course now the market is paying for it in a different way
Yeah.
now.
Well,
Um,
it's been so much more advantageous for the flipper type people to then just take a regular house, not as put as much risk into it, and then just
mhm,
flip it and make, a huge chunk the last 10 years. Yeah. So,
yeah. And here we are. So here we are.
hmm
People have been desperate for a house. We went through a major life change as a global society. And
yeah.
now we're settling back down into normal life changes, but we happen to still need new houses.
hmm hmm And it's like we love this kind of stuff. Happy to talk to you about it anytime. I mean, it's interesting to see the ebbs and flows of the market. And every time someone is buying a house or selling a house with us, it's always these similar type questions of what do you think is going to happen. So we are happy to talk about it anytime. Would love to chat with you on the market and where we see things going, and hear your thoughts as well. So please
Mhm.
keep the questions coming. Let us know anything that we can do for you. And I hope that a topic like this of is there a changing market, gives people hope out there. So
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, we are hypothesizing across the board, which is great. Maybe these hypotheses are incorrect. I don't know
yeah.
because it just feels this way to us in the last couple weeks, and we wanted to talk about it and share it with you guys.
hmm
But also, it was the last week of school up here in Seattle, and then it was 108 degrees, and now we're going into 4th of July, and people are just now starting to take vacations, and it's like, could it be that instead? And it's just a
Yeah.
fluke lull. I mean, that's a possibility too. Or it could be what we're hypothesizing here. And also, maybe no one wants to go tour these homes or go to open houses without air conditioning right now. I totally get it.
Yep. 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 Exactly right. So those
Mm,
are all factors at play right now. And so if you see houses that are on the market for a week or two, it's like, oh, okay, maybe that's new normal, or it was 108 degrees,
yeah.
and no one wanted to go outside, or end of school, 4th of July, all those kind of things. So
Yep.
who knows? Those are all the theories at play, and
Yeah.
that's why we're here on Real Talk, and that's what we like to talk about. So.
Yep.
Uh, Thank you guys. Tune in next time, and keep those questions coming in.
Please.
Alrighty.